Hi, I'm Ben. The conspiracy theory I chose was the Philadelphia experiment. For those of you who don't know, I'm just going to read the intro I wrote. The Philadelphia experiment is definitely not the most plausible conspiracy, so don't get excited. Yet, in researching it, I found that the story is still quite interesting. What you will see explained in this video is the accounts of the USS Eldridge disappearing and supposedly traveling over 200 miles and reappearing simultaneously. Whether there is evidence to actually support this, you'll find out, but no, there's not. So to start, we're going to go to...
However, some still believe that it may have really occurred and that there is a hoax or the ravings of a lunatic. However, some...
Okay, so he's citing the ravings of a lunatic, which he gets into later in the video, but we'll get into it now. Carl Allen is the only person to actually have started this because he supposedly was on the USS... I can't pronounce that. Furzik or something. Furious, I think. And so essentially, that was a ship that was supposed to be in Norfolk, and that's where supposedly the USS Eldridge teleported to. And so he was on a ship, supposedly saw another ship that no one else saw, and then wrote letters about it, which came out 10 years later. And so essentially, he's the only person who's ever done this and wrote it under a pseudonym, so people wouldn't even know who he was. Not a good one. It was Carlos Allen Day instead of Carl Allen. Carl Allen. It wasn't a very good one. But yeah.
Saw a ship spontaneously appear in the water in Norfolk. SS Andrew Furuseth saw a ship spontaneously appear in the water in Norfolk on October 28th.
Okay, so I'm not sure if it actually said it there, but if I played it at the right time, it would have said that there were many witnesses that saw this, but in reality, when you check the sources, which if you do some online research, there were no other accounts besides the accounts of Carl Allen. So this is actually framing bias by saying there's many people that saw it. There was just one person who had telling many people he saw it. So, moving on. This was a big thing for me, the credibility of the video. So, he's actually going through a pretty important part of this conspiracy at the time and asked for a like and subscribe. And it takes up a good chunk of the screen. So this led me to think, maybe this guy is not the foremost authority on the topic. And so, I did a little digging and found that there is a website he is reading verbatim this video from. None of this is his original words. He is not associated with that website. He is completely plagiarizing. I left the link under if anyone wants to check it out. You can read as he is reading from this video. So I thought that was kind of interesting because that really took away any respect and credibility this video had. That being said, I thought the website looked pretty legit and I checked out that, and the website's information was actually very good. So from that, I decided to continue with the video because although the video is not original, the website is, and so I'm just breaking down the video through the lens of this person's narration, which is identical. So yeah. In addition, no, it's okay. Just more times. All right. Here we go. Yeah.
Patient, but rather came before it. Once the USS Eldridge reached Norfolk, it was clear something went wrong. Some of the men had disappeared during the trip. Others had gone mad. Some kept becoming invisible and then regaining their form. Others still had become fused, yes, fused, with the ship in various ways.
Okay, so we're going to break down two of the things that just happened there. One of them is, see all these pictures running? These are from a science fiction movie called The Philadelphia Experiment, which came out years after based on this event. But none of these pictures are real because they were taken from the set of this movie. He doesn't say this is implied that these are actual videos and pictures of what happened. No, they are not. And it's really obvious because, I mean, if you can see this guy over on the left, that doesn't happen. But in general, yes, so he's trying to, this is a bias, this is apophenia, and it's essentially making you infer that although these aren't actually true, by putting it there, you can infer in your mind that it is supposed to be associated with this from things in your memory. If you've seen the video, it's attacking people, not attacking, going after people that have seen the movie and are associating the movie with what would have actually happened. Also, he said that many people have been injured. In public record, there are no accounts of anyone being injured from this time in anything related, and the Navy came out saying that there were no injuries and this did not happen at all. So although there's his theory of people being fused and burned may sound good, there's nothing to back it up.
Jacques Vallée wrote an article about the Philadelphia experiment. He had written about it before, and at the time, he requested that anyone who might have more information contact him.
So Jacques Vallée, first of all, is noted to be an expert on the subject because he had written about it before. He's also written about over 80 conspiracies about UFOs. This was not listed in the video, but was definitely true if you type his name into Google. He's actually a very smart scientist, but no longer works for NASA because he kind of went off the deep end. In addition, he went out and got his information from anyone who had any information on the topic, which, I mean, I could have said I had information on the topic. So, again, credibility issues. There's more to the video, but essentially, I don't believe in this conspiracy, mostly because besides Carl Allen, this under no circumstances has any proof of existing. And the existence that he believes didn't come out until 10 years after it supposedly happened. And the only other person to believe in it committed suicide because of it being ostracized. So in general, I think this is really just not a credible theory, and it doesn't fit with my worldview, which, I mean, I have to see it to believe it, and if I can't see it, then I'd rather just not know. I need it to be proven to me. So if you can't prove it, then I'm just happier knowing I don't know. Yeah, thank you.